say
We have
ambush.
thousands of stories talking about
President
it.
of South
We
Africa,
have
President Cyril Ramaphosa, and that's
documentaries,
video.
we
Let's see if
have
we could just take a
news
look at
stories,
that
and
video.
that. Is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I can show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to. Sure. Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down, and just put this on, it's right behind you.
But I do like the way he handled himself. I think I think his composure was intact. You know, there are times when you're caught in a situation where you were not expecting, and you just completely get out of character. But I like the way he was completely. It was put together. My thoughts. I don't know.
I might throw the dart straight at the bull's eye. I would say it is. I know we're already short of time. Look, as much as our opinions should not count, but rather our objectivity should be on the table, I think Ramaphosa, can I pronounce his name correctly?
Yes.
Should have been prepared for this. History never lies. If he hadn't learned from what happened to Zelensky when he was invited to the Oval Office, I mean, I'd be shocked. Not even a fifth grader could have made a mistake like that. It was either he was prepared for Donald Trump's trap or
gimmicks.
Well, gimmicks, or better still, not even honor the invitation. Look for some excuse. Because let's be honest. Okay. Let's be honest. You are talking about the commander-in-chief who is invited and is representing the whole of a big country like South Africa. Is sitting there, and you are putting him on the spot, making him feel as if he's not welcome. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Yes, the issue of shoot to kill, shoot the boer was shown on TV there by Honorable Malema, who's the head of EFF. We understand their manifesto, we understand who they are and what they do. That is clear. They made their intentions clear. But what now concerns that issue with the fact that you invited the man for other economic talks, which means that it was a ploy. And so if that be the case, if Ramaphosa hadn't seen it clearly before coming, now question what the whole intention was. Was there money promised in a different way? Let's be honest. Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, just to end my point, as far as I'm concerned, right? There's an undertone to this whole thing. Because I see Donald Trump over there, I see him on TV there. At some point on the video, though we don't have that part, he was talking about the appetite that happened in the past, and just a passing talk. Okay. That affected South Africans psychologically, mentally, cut across the whole African so far.
Date, actually.
To this date. It was not something just
gloss over.
Not at all. And so the fight still continues. So to use this will simply mean let us come to an equity level to now say if this can happen, this so-called shoot to kill or the whatever you call it attack on white farmers. So the one you guys have been crying about since, water it down. Now there's something else on ground now
that we can hold
on to.
Hold on to. That's
I think again I shouldn't think. I should say, but this is exactly what it is. President Cyril should have known, or South Africa should have known that they were up to something.
And I think he did. That's exactly what I'm actually.
So why did he go for it?
Okay, so because why? I think he did that. There were three white people on that entourage of his. In fact, two of them golfers were very close friends of Trump. His agriculture minister was also in that company of the president. So because the question is the 59 South Africans, the 15 Africans that were recently given political asylum in the US speaks a lot of volume as to what was actually happening. There were those farmers that Trump gave asylum to.
What about thousands of Africans that are sent back to Africa on
that's what
a monthly basis?
That's why the question around this position sometimes. This is the same person that's actually saying that we are going to be able to stop refugee status. And he gave 59 and others still in line. Of course, we know we cannot be able to roll out the hands of Elon Musk in that regard. But the question he was talking about is
who obviously was a pilot.
Of course, maybe he has a whole lot of, because he's very much in the hairs of the president. And he was actually be able to get his buy-in to give the political refugee status to those 59. And they were claiming about, white farmers. He brought out, in fact, a raft of documents to say these people are killed, these. But that's why I said, I think it was very much prepared for that. Because if you listen to, and that's why maybe we shall be able to show that, the response of the Agric minister, who is white, to be able to mention about killing these white farmers, that it is not true. In fact, the statistic event is that more black farmers, more black people are dying compared to
so why did
killing of them.
So
that's why he said that.
Yeah, why did he come prepared with his own presentation, saying, look, since Donald Trump, you've instructed them, Mr. President, you've instructed
that's
them
the ambush part.
Exactly.
I don't think he never knew the video will come out to say, let's watch this video. But he knew that there were discussions about
video also.
There is what your government is trying to do to be able to muzzle the white. I'm sure he was very much prepared for that. But, turned out the light just like you said.
No, you just might not. I imagine myself as President Cyril, right? You might never know the extent of which. I might know that this is how this person operates.
Should I ask a question?
I wouldn't say no. I'm just. You said something about you've seen how what
Zelensky was treated.
How Zelensky was treated.
Right.
But here's the kind of person I am.
We didn't see videos. There was no video like let's watch a video.
No, there wasn't.
There was no video there.
Which makes this
one
worse.
Attack.
But I think the thing with me, if you're someone like me, I think I'm a kind of person that I don't assume that because I don't assume that because this happened.
It will happen to me as well.
Exactly. I just go on a clean slate.
Good faith that this is what we're going to do.
I think right now with what Valentine is saying, so sometimes you need to have that cynical approach towards life. Because I would be like, oh man, there's a clean slate. Let's go there with the king. Because you were saying that, you shouldn't have gone,
Right.
I could have gone.
Should I ask the question?
No, it's okay.
Right now, would you still think those who are pushing the narrative of revolutionary, right, with what's happening in Burkina Faso, do you think that they will not be smiling and say, wow, Ibrahim Traoré truly is a man to follow?
I'm sure they will be.
No. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you see that there was still photo optics yesterday,
right?
Despite this what transpired between them, the two of them exchanged hands. So because at this moment,
right,
South Africa, you see what BRICS is doing. Most of them are trying to be able to move towards China. US is trying to mend the relationship. Economically, there have been a lot of strain between US and Brazil. Most of all these emerging nations, right, South Africa inclusive. And one of the agenda, the top of the agenda yesterday, before the Hunger Games in the world politics started yesterday, was how to be able to soothe the relationship between US and South Africa.
Which had already broken down because the ambassador was kicked out of South Africa, out of the United States. So,
because of what he said anyway.
Let's be honest. As an ambassador, if I am told to pack my things and leave your country, it's a simple, clear indication that diplomacy has broken down. So I expected them to say, okay, you're inviting us.
But you solve it, right? Once you mend the fences, so it has happened.
To mend it.
Okay. And before the ambush happened, to mend it, because it came back.
You start with the
ambassadors. Invited. Oh yes.
That's what you do.
He came, and that's why he brought his entourage to the White Oval Office yesterday to ensure. Okay, let's see, because the issue between Trump, US support for Israel at the time has actually not gone down well with Israel and with South Africa. Because South Africa was the first nation to take Israel to International Criminal Court over war crimes.
Because when South Africa had an issue, Palestine stood with them.
They stood with them, and so that has been there, and that has actually been straining the relationship. But before the optics that we saw yesterday of let's see this video before. And then the man will eventually be able to mention that this is actually the position of EFF, which is just like another political party. Exactly. Our country is a multi-party state. That's why I say he explained himself well. So it's not like this is not the position of all South Africans.
Yeah,
it's a position of one party, which is EFF.
Yes.
So he was able to explain and clear that.
So let me ask you.
Say, this was the one that's saying this.
Not what if the president of Nigeria, President Ahmed Tinubu, was sitting there, and then a video, right, on something that is opposition, right, in nature, was played there to undermine our president? How do you think he would have reacted?
That's what people are saying. So I'm sure we get
how President Bola Tinubu will react, because generally President Bola Tinubu, I don't want to be a spokesperson for him, but generally with what we've seen, I know that he doesn't really do well in life situations.
So I think he might bungle it?
No, I don't think he will be. Not bungle, not mess up, but I don't even know that he would have the response
to give at that point in time.
Or do you think there would ever be an invitation? Let's start with that.
I wouldn't know.
On to the next thing.
I wouldn't know if there'll be an invitation, but we have to bring it to a close here. The conversations have been truly interesting. Conversations on the front page of the paper this morning, from the Punch paper to the Business Day paper, which was quite on the more business and straight to the point. The Punch paper had a barrage of stories, and then also the Vanguard newspaper, and then seeing the video of President Donald Trump and President Cyril Ramaphosa. Quite interesting story. I know we will probably sit down here and keep discussing till noon, but we have to go now. Thank you so much for joining in on this conversation. It was truly delightful speaking with you this morning. But that's how we bring it to wraps on the newspaper review segment here on the BDTV Breakfast Show. My name is Elizabeth Musa.